we're gonna make them think that the other teams can catch up, and then at the end, we're just gonna, psych, we're gonna get a win. That's exactly what they ended up doing.
It felt that way. It felt like for the benefit of you guys up there in the studio, we're gonna make this a little bit closer than it seems. But you know, I gotta give it to VP. They weren't catching circle ones. They were working for everything they got. That last game, they had to actually, with one car, camp the bridge to get enough vehicles to make that rotation to the south side of military. They hustled, and that's what I love to see in a champion. A hustle period that results in a win.
And you can see right there, VP with 126 points, 81 kills. That's the crazy part for me, because if you were to remove the placement points, this squad would actually still be within top 3, within top 4. That's how impressive they have been, Godspeed. But we gotta talk about Falcons a little bit too here in Vicious, in Navi, because I mean, especially Navi, with currently being at 78 points, being even further away from those other squads ahead of them, what is their focus going to be? Is their focus going to be trying to still be in the top 3? Because there's a lot of money on the line. If you end up being in second place, it's 300K. If you end up being in third place, it's 200K. Right now, they're at 134K.
One placement can be life-changing money for a team, right? Yep. And I think a lot of these guys obviously have that in their mind. But yeah, we still have to talk about Falcons and VC, who VC absolutely closed that gap yesterday. We also have, as you stated, Navi, but right behind them by 1 point is Vitality, and Vitality actually won a game yesterday as well, so they were also on the hunt to try to catch that up. Falcons, I think in general, they're just going to play their game. I think this first game, we're going to see a lot of the teams just trying to maintain their game and play their way until something maybe dramatic happens. Maybe VP actually hits that 10-point threshold, I'm not sure.
Yeah, and as we're alluding to it, the smash rule is in play. And we're going to be talking about now one of my favorite things, the Smash Zone for PUBG Battlegrounds, because the Smash Zone is set at 136 points. Teams have to reach those 136 points, and after that, they're available to win via Smash Rule if they get a chicken dinner. This is what we're saying. If VP ends up getting 10 points and gets 136 points and wins that second match, they could end up finishing here. But I actually want to see what VP had to say today, because I want to see if their pressure's on them or if they're just like, yeah, we're going to win this.
Yeah, obviously you have some teams chasing you. Falcons are the closest, and a lot of people are talking about, are you going to do something about it? Or like, what's your approach? If they get close, you're going to have to avoid them winning by match point.
I would say they should be afraid of us chasing them instead of they chasing us. Because if we get a good enough gap, what is going to stop us from us stopping them? They can stop us, but what is that going to do? So yeah, I think they should be more afraid of.
And a lot of people are talking about, are you going to do something about it? Or like, what's your approach? If they get close, you're going to have to avoid them winning by match point.
I would say they should be afraid of us chasing them instead of they chasing us. Because if we get a good enough gap, what is going to stop us from us stopping them? They can stop us, but what is that going to do? So yeah, I think they should be more afraid of.
And a lot of people are talking about, are you going to do something about it? Or like, what's your approach? If they get close, you're going to have to avoid them winning by match point.
I would say they should be afraid of us chasing them instead of they chasing us. Because if we get a good enough gap, what is going to stop us from them? They can stop us, but what is that going to do? So yeah, I think they should be more afraid of.
And a lot of people are talking about, are you going to do
I think
something about it? Or
Falcon is going to win this one.
You're going to have to avoid them
What I
winning by match
suppose.
point.
I would say they should be afraid of us chasing them instead of they chasing us. Because if we get a good enough gap, what is going to stop us from stopping them? They can stop us, but
Hey,
what is that gonna do?
soldier.
So, yeah,
Welcome
I
to
think
the
they should be
watch
more
party.
afraid of,
And a lot of people are talking about, are you going to do
I think
something about it? Or
Falcon is going to
what's your
win this
approach? If they
one.
get close, you're going to have to avoid them
What I
winning by match
suppose.
point.
I would say they should be afraid of us chasing them instead of they chasing us. Because if we get a good enough gap, what is going to stop us from stopping them? They can stop us, but
Hey,
This first
soldier.
match for Falcons,
Welcome
though,
to the
is
watch party.
incredibly crucial. Obviously, you know,
I
we
think,
kind of, want them to
Falcons
play
is
like
going to win this one.
not a slow game, but a consistent game. But they will need to prioritize these edge fights to maximize their kill points to be able to get up to that threshold. And then, look, if they were to do it, match 3 could potentially be possible, but that's obviously not to say without VP and their exceptional
Yeah,
lead.
I can see.
I mean, they just need to play their game right
the
and
VP is
keep an eye
leading
out
right
for
now,
VP.
but
I don't think necessarily VP is just going to come out the gates. Hey, we're
I
just
think
gonna hunt the Falcons,
strategically
but,
everyone is
you know,
going
if
to
they can
attack
see that Falcons,
VP
hey, they're in a fight across the map.
in this
Is it
upcoming
risky?
match.
Yeah, but can we just completely end their game right here? Why not? We are going to hit that threshold regardless. So that's something that Falcons need to worry about. It needs to be in the back of
Everyone
their
is
mind
going to
at the very
target
least.
VP.
I mean, the only thing that I would be
Or I
worried about is,
suppose.
you're right, I don't think a day full of hot drops is on the table, but if
Also
I am the coach of
Falcons,
VP, I do at the
but
very least consider the first
the
game
aggressive
messing with
approach of
them a little bit,
Falcons
just
is
to blow their minds
definitely
out and make them change their drop spots. Because if Falcons get
going
dropped in the
to
first game, they can't keep dropping
give
where they
them
expect
an
it to drop unless they
advantage
win a
edge.
format. So there's a way that there could be some mind games here, but VP doesn't strike me as those kinds of guys. I think they're going to come in, play their game,
I'm
stick to
just
their
looking
strategy,
forward
and like he
for
said, maybe try to take this
Tgltn's
home a little bit earlier. So I look forward to seeing how they approach, because for the first time, there's a lot of actual mental challenges that could go into this format.
VP, please, just get 10 points at the beginning. Get those 10 points in the first match. And for Falcons, if you are gonna start performing good, take advantage of the games that VP goes out early, something that really wasn't happening yesterday at the beginning of the day. But let's see what Falcons had to say with Kalaris.
Hey, it's Kalaris here on the final day of competition for the Esports World Cup for PUBG Battlegrounds, and I am joined by Tgltn here. Falcons currently in second place, and of course, we find ourselves in a very interesting situation here, considering the format difference that we're not really that used to playing internationally. So for Falcons, are there going to be any different approaches that you would maybe take to the games and how things play out? What are your thoughts on it generally, and how it could potentially play out in this lobby?
I think the format's good fun. I do want to say that the amount of games we've played has made it like minimally RNG, which has been great. Although I don't think the smash point is going to like play a role in today's games. Just because VP has such a lead, we have to get 37 points just to catch them. And get the smash point or be eligible, so that means we'd have to win one of the last two games to take home the trophy over them, and they just have too much opportunity to grief us a little bit. So the amount of games we've played, I don't think the format will like play a big role in today's games. It's great, some regular PUBG. I don't think the smash point is gonna like.
Do you think that Falcons, you guys so far have been able to kind of hit your peak performance so far throughout this tournament, and especially the finals as a whole here across these 3 days, or do you think that there was a little bit of an extra level that you could have taken, or is it just because Virtus.pro has looked how they have here in the final, going up against it, that has been just the challenge overall? So where do you think you're at right now as the team?
I'm pretty sure if you took our points and compared it to last EWC after 12 games, we would have been in first place. We would have beat Twisted. So VP's just having an absolutely stellar performance. We could have cleaned up a couple things better. Like yesterday, there was a game where Na'Vi was a duo up and a double white. I knew it was Na'Vi in the house. 2 of them had died in the first circle though, and I couldn't recall that in the game that they had died. And if we had slightly better with that information, for example, we could have crashed them and won the game that they won. But it's difficult stuff like that. It's really like, it's the 1% differences that are going to help us get over the line.
Do you think that this is going to weigh on Virtus.pro's minds? I think a lot of people are trying to think right now what is going on in their heads, right? Because again,